this episode is really going to be about getting paint on the car and the trials and tribulations around doing all of that. Then we're going to start thinking about how we do the whole reassembly thing. So yeah, there's going to be a lot in this episode in terms of time, simply because painting a car takes a long time. And I have not left the camera on for the whole time, bored you all to death with every single moment that ever happened in it, because that would be mad. But hopefully what this is going to do is give you a bit of a flavour about what I've done. And there are hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube and elsewhere that will tell you lots and lots about how to paint a car. So I'm not going to try and get into too much of the detail, I'm just going to talk about what I did. So I hope it's useful for you. And then the other thing I wanted to say was that we're still thinking about names for the car. So I think we've got like half a dozen suggestions at the moment. So anybody else has got any suggestions for a name for the 2CV, then stick it in the comments below and we'll take a look at those, hoping to make a decision on that soon. Then the other thing, anyway, we're going to get on with it. Let's get painting, let's get fixing stuff, and let's get this 2CV looking great. Okay, let's get into it.
Right, I've suddenly remembered I need to put the camera on, so I'm doing primer filler first. So I mixed that up. Before I did that, I did the tack cloth to get all the dirt off. Stuff swinging about. was the easy bit.
So, I don't think this recorded terribly well because I think the battery kept going flat. But anyway, and it looks like the battery's going to go flat again. So I've now done all of the primer filler. So the job tomorrow. Okay, so second coat of primer on. This time the only thing I did differently was I left the filter out of the gun, and actually I got a better result, strangely. So I still filtered the paint when I put it in the pot, but I didn't put the filter in the gun itself, and actually it seems to have done a better job and given me a better shine on the paint. You can see that I'm very keen on the orange peel finish. My painting isn't that good, but yeah, it's pretty good considering that we're doing it in a tent. So yeah, that's all the doors done, and the wings, they're done. Did them a bit earlier, didn't film that part, but basically we're all done here with all the priming, so we can get on with some green. Hooray! Right, after much issues with batteries, I'm not sure how much actually ended up getting recorded yesterday. So here we go. This is where we are. So we've got the primer on in all spots. There's a few little bits that I still need to go over, which I've just marked up with yellow tape. Just to make sure that we're good. I'll probably have to then go for a second coat on some of this. I was pretty pleased with how it went on, apart from one or two runs, but no, pretty good apart from that. Quite happy. There's some little scratches and what have you that I need to just attend to, so I need to go in with some finer paper before I put on another coat. But overall, it's looking pretty good. So the next job today will be to get a second layer of primer on, having addressed a few of the little issues that are covered by the first run. So that's the plan today. So slow process when you don't do it every day. So we'll have to speed up. So yep, that's what I'm going to do, but mostly it's all looking pretty good. Got the odd little issue here and what have you, but mostly it just needs to be just sanded back again, I think. Go in a little bit lighter on the next coat. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Well, I've been around and tacked everything, checked everything, so I'm going to mix up the paint and we're going to get cracking at painting all of this lot. I just haven't got room for everything, so that one's got to stay out there. And that one's staying up there for a minute. I've got to try to remember not to forget to paint it. But we're pretty much ready to go here, so I'm going to get my base coat mixed up and then get that on. I'll try and leave this on, but the battery keeps going flat. That's my finger.
Okay. I've been a bit slack in filming some of this stuff because it's all pretty time critical. You've got to get this paint on once you've got it mixed up, so you just kind of have to get on with it. So I've done priming on all of this stuff. I'm now going to go in with the base coat and get that done, so I've got some mixed up ready to go. I've mixed up some in a pot as well as a spare in case I need it. I've got plenty of green, so I'm okay on that front. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on and start putting some paint down. It's quite a warm afternoon, so it's a good day for it. I've learnt one thing with this base coat, and that is, you know, don't try and get it on too thick. You're not, you know, you're not looking for the gloss finish on this, because that's when the drips start occurring. This boot lid gave me so much trouble because I put it all on too thick. So I have to go back and strip the whole thing back to bare metal, which I didn't really need, but there we go. So just got paint stripper on it, took the whole finish off, went bananas. So hopefully we're going to get some paint on this now, and it's going to look great. Painted the back of these. Painted that. Oh, look, there you go. I painted that earlier on. Be a bit less careful with the back because that's going to be under the bonnet, so you can be less picky, I guess. Not a long job. That is something that happens all the time when you're working outside. Tiny bit of wind and it drops off. I'll come back to it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know how much. I haven't looked at the video that I recorded whilst I was doing the initial painting, but I've found a few flaws. Obviously, we're painting outside. Stuff happens. So you can see here, for instance, that there was actually some drips in this. I got some nasty runs in it because I couldn't see what I was doing clearly enough. There's some little spots. They're like little blisters. So I had to ping those off with a razor blade. This door was actually pretty good. I did a good job at that one. You can see I've strung the glass here, so there's a piece of string behind the rubber all the way around, so that when I take all the masking off and I take the string out, the rubber will go straight back against the paint. It just saves me the fun and games of taking the glass out. A bit lazy really, but it's very effective. And on this panel, it's very hard for you to see probably, but there was just a piece where in this area the paint coverage just wasn't particularly good. So I'm going to go over and do that bit again, hence I've been just rubbing down with 600 so I can go in again and repaint. And the same goes here down this edge. There's always a plane or a helicopter, isn't there? Down this edge it's a little bit thin. So all of these panels that I've got here are just panels that now need a little bit more fettling, so I've just sanded them down. See, this one was particularly bad. I really didn't get at all into the corners here, so that's obviously got to be done again. So I've let all of these panels go off overnight, so that I can do the repaint this morning. So rub down with 600, then that means that we can put another layer on the top of it, so it'll be going back over it with the tack cloth and the spirit wipe and all the usual stuff. So obviously I've got the body covered up. I did last night get some clear on some of the panels though, so this one's now got some clear on it. You can see that I'm very good at getting the paint on nice and thick, so it'll survive a few car parking mishaps, and then we've got clear on the whole of the shell itself. So I'm having to cover this up just for the moment to do the other bits of painting, because I need help to move this thing, so I'm going to wait for a victim to pop round and borrow something and then get them to help me. So that's the plan. Okay, so I've been over and done the little bits now that I missed before. It's always really hard to show people stuff like this when you haven't really got the light and you're using a camera. Managed to dead bug. Managed to decide to snuff it immediately after I'd done the last coat. So apart from that, it's pretty good. And the doors are now fully covered, so that's all looking pretty cool. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I've never used this base coat and clear coat kind of approach before. I've always just gone for the direct glossing. So it's been a bit of a learning curve. I think if I've learned anything about doing this, it's not go too heavy with your base coat. There's me going in whacking it on because I think I'm trying to build a gloss up like you would with a cellulose or a direct gloss. So yeah, that's the real big difference, is you don't have to layer it on so thick. But we're not doing an Aston Martin today, so I think we can probably get away with that. Anyway, a bit more paint will save it in the car parks and from scratches and so forth. So I think, you know, on the whole, that's been quite a good experience. I've still got the boot lid to sort out. I'm not happy with how that came out. You can still see some of the sanding marks in it, so I'm going to have another crack at that. I think I'm just going to strip it back to bare metal and do it. You know, I remember saying right way back at the beginning of this, I'd probably just leave it alone. I'm wishing I had now. Anyway, so yeah, we're all good on that. So need a victim to come by and help me move the shell back onto the chassis. But I've got all the rubbery stuff that I need to put it back on. So hopefully later on we'll actually get the shell back on the car, and that'll be where it stays. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Okay, I'm going to get some lunch. Bye. Well, here we go. So, body's back on. So an innocent victim happened to be passing and gave me a hand putting it back on. So, I'm just bolting it down. So, trying to remember where all the bits are. So, big washers right under the seat. There's 2 either side and the back of the boot, which I need to get at, and then there's 9 down each side in that line there, and then you've got the ones that go in the holes. So that's what I'm just doing right now. Just gonna get the last one in, hopefully. Put it in? Yeah, put it in. They're being reasonably well behaved. So I bought new bolts, M7s. So new bolts, new washers, copper grease. I'm hoping this car lasts longer than I do, so assuming that's the case, somebody else might come to restore this car in the future. So if you're watching this, future restoring person, I'm using copper grease on this to help you out. So that's what's going on. I've even got the steering wheel in, look. See if we can get this one in without a fight. And there she blows. I'll tighten that down with a. I'll tighten that down with the proper ratchet. I haven't tightened any of these down yet. Just want to make sure that everything's in line. So that's it. Now we're doing the fun part now. We're gonna get the whole car back together. Hopefully, won't take too long. But there are, you know, a few just annoying little bits that I've already noticed that I didn't see before. One of which is I found some rust on the column. Am I going to live with that? Yeah, might have to. You can't do everything. And I never could work out how to get that thing off. Maybe somebody will tell me. Okay, carrying on.